Welcome to the Metabolic Chronicles Vlogcast, episode number 27.
Kick that chair.
Yeah.
Kick the chair, man.
I'm like fucking chair.
The fucking chair, man.
Here, I'm going over. Yeah, I should be out of frame now.
Wall.
Alright, so this is episode 27.
Yeah.
Fuck Jon Jones.
Hey, he said people like you motivate him.
We're going to start off with the main event for UFC 214, which was a great, exciting card from top to bottom. Jon Jones wins by TKO in the third round. It all started with a head kick to Daniel Cormier.
Yes, sir.
That wobbled him, and then Jon Jones didn't let up the pressure, got Cormier on the ground, and finished him with ground and pound.
I mean, the head kick was...
Yeah, the head kick, was
that ended the fight.
yeah, it put the nail in the coffin. But
Oh, God, he cried, man.
before that, I had DC winning 2 rounds. He was looking real good, and he ducked into that fucking kick, and
That shin going real good.
he got caught flush with the shin, and yeah, I can't front though. If this is DC's last fight, I ain't mad at him. He really don't got nothing else to prove. I mean, Jon Jones just has his number. Styles make fights, and
I mean, I don't even feel like that was the case. I feel like he just made one critical error. That was it. Because he was looking really good against Jon Jones.
yeah, he was looking real good. He was landing very hard shots on Jon Jones. It looked like if the fight would have progressed in the way DC was going, he probably would have finished Jon Jones. But he leaned into that kick.
People already calling him the GOAT on Facebook. Y'all need to
He's
stop
not. They don't need to stop it. Jon Jones is the GOAT.
Stop it.
No, he is the GOAT.
I don't think he's the GOAT.
Thank you. Stop it.
Nah.
But yeah, no, he deserves
He's
he
good.
deserved the props that he
GOAT.
And light heavyweight, he probably is the GOAT. As far as light heavyweight fighters goes, he probably is the GOAT. I'm not, and I don't like Jon Jones.
He don't like you though.
Yeah, he don't like me. He blocked me on Instagram. He's still a little bitch. But
Hey, guess what, John? Since you say haters like him motivate you,
you can unblock me and I can motivate you some more.
for real.
But DC said it best. It's 2 losses in a row. There's not a rivalry. He doesn't know. I mean, DC's up there in age too. Those weight cuts seem like they're adding to his age as well. If he retires now, I'm not mad at him.
Nah.
He's one of the GOATs. Like it or not, you can say whatever you want about DC. You can hate DC all you want, but his resume is retarded. He fought at heavyweight and was a legit contender and could have been a champion at heavyweight. Just he didn't want to fight Cain Velasquez. So he went down to light heavy.
He was a heavyweight champion though.
Yeah, Strikeforce. He was the heavyweight champion, but not in UFC.
Yeah.
But in UFC, he could have been a champ too. But he decided to go down because he didn't want to bump heads with Cain. That's Cain's division, and go to 205. And he cleaned that division out. And just the same way he was cleaning out heavyweight division.
Yeah.
He has a retarded resume. You're not gonna find a fighter with a resume like Cormier's ever. So he's one of the GOATs. He can hang his head up high. You beat Rumble Johnson twice. Most people are afraid to step in the ring with Rumble Johnson.
That's your question.
Not even Jon Jones got in the ring.
Yeah, not even Jon Jones got in the ring with Rumble
But
Johnson.
he's crazy enough to call out Brock Lesnar.
That fight is stupid. Jon Jones is gonna get mauled, even if Brock Lesnar's off of steroids. The fact that Brock Lesnar has so much weight on him, it's retarded. And then on top of that, how's Jon Jones gonna stop his takedown? This man lifted up Mark Hunt off the ground when Mark Hunt would try to sprawl. There's no way Jon Jones can deal with that.
Yeah, I don't. To me, that fight is just, again, it's a cash grab.
It's a cash grab. I mean,
They're just doing it again because it's the return of Brock. It's the return of Brock Lesnar.
if anything, Gustafsson Jones too. Plain simple.
That would have been the better fight.
That's the better fight.
That's the much better fight. The Jon Jones Brock Lesnar fight. I mean, say what you want. I'll give Jon Jones a shot in that fight.
I mean, it's MMA. Everybody got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, he has about a snowball's chance in hell.
Snowballs.
But yeah, you're fighting a guy who comes in at the very top of the weight limit.
He walks around at almost 300 pounds and cuts down to like 260 to make weight, or 264.
Yeah, so he's coming in at the very top of the heavyweight
limit.
The heavyweight limit, and that's where he's gonna sit. And I guarantee you, when fight night comes, he's gonna be over that limit.
Yeah, and John Jones, what? He walks around at 220. Fight Gufferson.
Yeah.
Gufferson rematch is the fight people really want to see.
Yeah, you fighting at 220, 230. He might put on weight.
Yeah.
You're still fighting a guy who's probably going to be coming into that fight somewhere close to 280 pounds.
Yeah, so that's a stupid fight to make.
Plus, he's fucking solid mass and muscle.
And then on top of Jones, you have pillows for hands. Like, I mean, we know Brock doesn't like getting hit, but I doubt he's going to run from your punches.
I mean, the difference is he's not going to have a height advantage on Brock Lesnar.
He's going to have slight reach, though.
He's not going to have a height advantage at all. That's always been his biggest weapon against everybody, his height. Because almost everybody in his division, outside of Alexander Gustafsson, is smaller than he is. So he can play the outside game and be elusive. Same thing he did to Daniel Cormier. But fighting a guy like Brock Lesnar, pretty much showed his biggest weakness in all fights is his ground game. He's a great wrestler and everything, and he can power out of pretty much anything. But the second you take him to the ground, he doesn't really know what to do down there in terms of the jiu-jitsu side. So that's a big plus for him. That was the only reason Frank Mir beat him.
Yeah. But the problem is getting him down.
Yeah, and
That's a big
fucking
dude.
problem.
It's a very big problem to have. And like the only other guys who beat him were
strikers.
With two strikers that have ridiculous power, which was Shane Carwin and Cain Velasquez.
No, it was Cain Velasquez and Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, Alistair Overeem.
I mean,
Shane Carwin almost beat him, hurt him, and then blew his tank. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Alistair Overeem, who's an amazing striker, period.
Yeah.
Glass jaw, but a great striker.
And he was on roids at the time.
Yeah.
On roids too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Cain Velasquez, who is just as explosive as Brock Lesnar, and 1,000 times more powerful in terms of punching power. Like Brock Lesnar, the biggest thing he has is that he manages to smush everybody.
Yeah. But he does hit hard as fuck too.
He does. As Frank Mir.
Problems with that man.
Frank Mir always ends up looking like Martin.
I mean, look at Marc Hunt's face.
Yeah.
And he was giving him little pity pat hammer punches.
Because he's that fucking weak.
And then Randy Couture.
Yeah, but Randy Couture was like ridiculously underweight.
The same thing's gonna be with John Jones.
Yeah.
The beat down.
We'll see.
Let's talk about but yeah, I hated seeing DC cry. They shouldn't have interviewed him in the ring. But props to DC for taking the interview. I mean, that shows you the type of man he is.
Again, I think Joe Rogan was right. He shouldn't have interviewed DC. I still feel like he shouldn't have interviewed him just because of the hit that DC took.
Yeah, he was wobbly as fuck. He was still wobbly as fuck. I don't think he recovered.
I'm willing to bet that DC has some kind of a concussion, and he shouldn't have been talking to him because usually when that happens, they.
But he seemed coherent when they talk, when they ask him all the questions. Like he seemed, he seemed to be about his wits. I mean, before he was dizzy, but when he was, he was crying. So I mean, that I didn't like, but
it was what it was.
It was what it was, and at the end of the day, DC always showed class. So, I mean, people hate on DC online, and it's just like, y'all just mad because he did shit y'all can't do, plain and simple. So, y'all take out your little insecurities on him. And, John Jones was classy in victory. I
honestly thought he was going to say something.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say something stupid, because usually John Jones always says something incredibly stupid. But he was incredibly classy, and he gave DC the props
and
DC deserves.
DC wasn't...
Nah, DC was receptive to it, but, he's heartbroken. Like, out of all the people in the world, he doesn't want to lose to John Jones. Like, that's the problem. Like, that's what people don't get. Like, when they're in a competition and there's that one guy that that you need to beat him, and you just can't for some reason, and it eats at you. And especially when you're a competitive person like DC, you gotta remember he's a fucking Olympian. When you're Olympian, you train 365 for years just to get to that level. So, you know, of course he doesn't want to lose. Who wants to lose when you're at that level?
Ooh, yeah.
Nobody wants to lose. So, you know, you're like, oh, he's a salty loser. Who trains that hard to lose? Even Royce Gracie says it. I don't train to lose.
And yeah, and this was the best shape I've seen.
Yeah,
him
DC,
in.
he was winning that fight.
He looked amazing. Like, physically, he looked great.
And he was winning the fight, but...
He was winning the fight. He was fighting a smart fight. He saw a kick coming. He thought it was going to be... It looked like he thought it was going to be a body shot. And he kind of just ducked into the head kick.
Yeah.
It was a good mix-up by John Jones.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
Yeah.
Much respect.
Let's talk about Tyron Woodley versus Demian Maia. I picked Tyron Woodley to win. My brother picked Maia.
I took Maia.
I said exactly what was gonna happen, except Tyron didn't finish him. But
it wasn't a very good fight. I felt like Woodley. It was a good fight technically.
Yeah, technically a great fight. Like for casual fans, it was probably this is a fucking boring fight.
Yeah.
But for people that watch MMA and love MMA,
it was still a boring fight.
It was still a boring fight, but it was a great technical fight.
Yeah, it was a great technical fight. My biggest beef with Tyron Woodley,
he had chances to finish.
I felt like he never pulled the trigger when he had the chances to actually
put
Maia away.
I understood why he didn't pull the trigger.
Oh, no, I understand.
Because if Maia grabs you, it's a wrap.
I understand, but even times when he had him hurt, he never pulled the trigger on it. Like he would land these big shots, he would stagger Maia, and then he would back off.
Yeah.
And let Maia basically recover and just come in for the fight.
Yeah.
And he just basically picked at him for the entire fight. And
that was it, 5 rounds. Maia didn't win that one fucking round. He didn't win one fucking round. So I had a 50-47 or some shit like that.
The one thing I'll give Maia is that he didn't get dominated either.
Yeah, he didn't get dominated. I think he could have gotten dominated, but like I said, like my brother said, Tyron was just, he kept pulling back. It was like you had the kill shot and you just show mercy and just like back away. And that's what it was. I don't know what's next for Tyron. I mean, he's beating everybody in that. He's beating who you need to beat in that division.
I mean, he's fighting GSP.
He beat one. Yeah. Oh yeah. He got GSP. So that's gonna be dope. I'm going with Tyron.
I don't know. That's a tougher fight for him.
No. I don't think GSP can take this dude down. I don't think GSP can take him down.
I think GSP is gonna come in with a serious game plan.
Last time GSP fought a wrestler, what happened?
Dead.
And he got fucked up, and that was Johnny Hendricks.
That was Johnny Hendricks on roids.
Yeah, but Tyron Woodley's an animal. He's an animal.
Okay.
He's Johnny Hendricks on roids.
GSP.
And I think he might be even better than Johnny Hendricks on roids because you see what he did to fucking Lawler.
GSP's a different animal, man.
I'm going with Woodley. I also think that time off.
I mean, that's the one thing I can see. Like, I don't see this fight. This is not even an exciting fight for me, a Tyron Woodley GSP fight. Because honestly, GSP
don't make fights.
It's not even that. Like, it's just that GSP's been gone from the game for way too long at this point to make it even seem like he's a credible opponent. In terms of
to me though, he left the champion. So
yeah, he left the champion.
So
to
me
he's not a credible opponent at this point. Just because you're gonna put him. Like, you're putting him back into the mix. You're not even giving him a fight to tune up, to warm up, to see where he's at. You're literally throwing him into the deep end. So it's not really
going with Tyron.
I mean, so
that's another reason too. This whole era's changed.
I mean, I guess. I mean, my only thing is like, you have to give GSP the benefit of the doubt because he's very much like Dominic Cruz when it comes to his fight science.
Yeah, but Tyron comes with good game plans. Every time he fights...
He can come with a good game plan, but this nigga GSP, he'll be like, he has muscles like a fucking swimmer, so we're gonna do this and wear those out and blah, 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 and do all this other shit. GSP takes...
I know scientific approach.
He takes the whole scientific approach to another level. Whatever Dominic Cruz is doing, he's doing it like by times 10.
Yeah, but
yeah, I don't see the fight being worth. It just doesn't seem like it's worth it to me.
But when the fight does go down, I'm going with Tyron. I think Tyron knocks him the fuck out.
I honestly don't care.
Yeah. Cris Cyborg versus Tonya Evinger.
Enough respect to Tonya
Yeah.
Evinger.
Yeah.
I'm giving all praises due to Top Evinger. You are officially the GOAT.
I don't know
She
about
survived.
that.
She survived to the third round.
No, she survived the third round. Anyone who survives the third round will Cyborg, you are officially the GOAT in my eyes.
Yeah, you survived. You survived that.
She took a beating.
I think she was playing.
She fought a smart fight too. She kept going for that clinch.
Yeah.
Whenever Cyborg got her,
She
she fought a good fight.
She
definitely laid out
a roadmap.
a roadmap on how to beat Cyborg.
Just there needs to be a better fighter to do it.
Yeah.
She definitely looked like she didn't have the tools.
Physically, she didn't have the tools physically.
She didn't have the tools well, not just physically. She just didn't look like she had the tools. She didn't look like she had the hands for it. She didn't look like she had the ground game for it either. There's not a lot of people, especially women, that can match Cyborg in terms for power.
Strength, yeah.
Evinger definitely wasn't one to match her strike for strike. She barely looked like she knew what to do with those hands. Like she was landing some shots here and there that were pretty good, but she didn't really look like she knew what she was doing.
They didn't bother Cyborg either.
Yeah,
Cyborg just looked at like, oh, you're fighting back.
like she looked woefully under-equipped for that fight. The only thing I'll give her is that she survived.
She's the GOAT.
She had a great game plan going in.
She tried to stick to it as much as she can.
Yeah, she took it. Every time Cyborg would hit her with a big shot,
You could tell that shit hurt her
it hurt
so
her,
bad.
but she always went in for the clinch and tied Cyborg up. It worked. It was working for her. It was throwing Cyborg off. Cyborg's output wasn't what it normally is, and again, it got her to the third round.
And then Cyborg caught her with this fucking knee.
And then
And
Cyborg
that was
knee.
it. That was a
Yeah, she knocked her soul out of her body with that knee, and it was over.
Yeah. One of the fights of the night, because there's two fights of the night in this card. Robbie Lawler versus Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
Robbie Lawler won by majority decision.
Which was, that's how I saw it.
I have Lawler winning too. Round one I gave to Lawler. Robbie in the beginning of the round runs at Cerrone like he stole something and just started throwing everything at Cerrone. He
wanted that fight over.
Yeah, he wanted that fight over quick. He gave Cerrone everything he could, and Cerrone survived. I give Cerrone props for that. And Cerrone got to take down near the end of the round. And then round two I gave to Cerrone. Cowboy found his distance in that round. It seemed like Robbie was taking a pause in that round, or a breather, and Cowboy seemed to be getting off on that round. But he never really had Robbie in trouble, because whenever Cowboy would start getting a little too comfortable, Robbie would throw something to like, okay, nigga, you need to stop. But Cowboy won that round easy. He was throwing nice combos and he was landing good head kicks.
Yeah.
Round three, they were both going for broke.
Really?
But Lawler was hitting Cowboy with some good body shots and body kicks, and he was hooking off on Cowboy's body as well, and that seemed to be like pushing Cowboy back, and that's how that round went for Lawler. So Lawler won by majority decision. It was great seeing Lawler back. I was kind of like leery doing like the press conference and like the the weigh-ins and the interviews before the fight, because it seemed like Lawler didn't give a fuck to be there, and like not in like oh, here comes another question. It looked more like, why am I here type shit. Like he looked like he was just not happy to be there at all.
Maybe he just didn't want to do the press stuff.
No, but even at the ceremonial weigh-ins, and even at the real weigh-ins, like when he got on the scale, he was like,
he probably didn't want to do any of it.
Just didn't want to do none of that
and that kind of threw me off though. I was like, how's that gonna affect him when it comes to the fight? Because I never seen him act like that. So it was like just something weird, and for a minute my opinion was almost about to change. I was like, maybe I said Robbie's acting real weird, like if like he's almost about to like throw the fight or something. But no, once the fight came in, he was ready to go, and it was vintage Lawler. I think you give him one more fight before he fights for the title again. But he didn't seem like when they asked him about what he wants to fight next, or does he want to crack at the belt, he just said he just wants to go see Matt Hughes. So, he wants to spend time with his family and go see Matt Hughes. So, I don't know what's next for Lawler. For all we know, he could probably say he's done after this. I don't know, but I mean, his attitude showed like maybe he's kind of sick with this, even though he seems to enjoy the fighting part. I just think he just hates everything else leading up to the fighting nowadays.
Yeah, possibly. That could very well be it.
Volkan Ozdemir versus Jimmy Manuwa. Ozdemir by knockout. First round is like the first, I think, minute of the fight.
That was that was on the Fight Pass for you, right?
Yeah. No, that was the pay-per-view.
Oh.
They caught Jimmy Manuwa with that hook in the inside, and Manuwa dropped, and he just destroyed Manuwa. This was Ricardo Lamas versus Jason Knight. TKO by Ricardo Lamas. That was the main event on FXX. Lamas beat dog shit out of Jason Knight.
Yeah.
He beat dog shit out of Jason Knight. Ricardo Lamas is one of the best fighters at 145. He's heavily slept on. I mean, he's always been a top 5 guy in that division. I think the next fight for him, since Cub is not going to fight Max Holloway, should be him and Cub. That's a really good fight.
That's a good fight.
That's a really good fight. And I don't think those two fought. So that's a good fight for them. So, because, Max is going to fight Frankie. Jose Aldo just got knocked out. So I don't know if he's going to fight anytime soon. So Ricardo Lamas versus Cub Swanson makes sense. Like, Ricardo Lamas didn't take no damage in that fight. So that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see.
Aljamain Sterling versus Renan Barao. Round 1 I gave to Barao.
Yeah.
Round 2 I gave to Sterling. He got the takedown and basic control with a lot of ground and pound. And round 3 I gave to Sterling. He controlled the majority of the round and hurt Barao. Barao got the takedown near the end of the round, but he didn't do anything with it. I think they gave the decision to Aljamain Sterling. And then Barao, they fought at a catch weight at 140. At the weigh-ins, the official weigh-ins, Renan Barao had to get naked to make 140. And he's talking about going down to 135. If he had to get naked to get to 140,
he's not making it.
He can't make 135. So 145 it is.
I mean, unless he stabilizes out at this weight and he doesn't balloon up after.
He's not. He's still. He can't. He's old already. Like, I mean, not old as in like old, but old as in your body don't want to cut to that weight no more.
No, I mean not cut to that weight. I'm saying if he stabilizes, because the problem with a lot of these fighters is they like to balloon up after fight and then try to cut down. If he stabilizes somewhere close to 140 or 150 or 150, he can probably make 135. But the thing is, he ain't gonna do that. He's gonna shoot right back up to like 180, 185, and then try to cut back down to 135, and he's gonna die.
I mean, he already passed out.
Yeah,
One he couldn't even make the weight, and the other one he passed out in the bathtub or some shit like that.
Yeah, that was the last fight he had.
Yeah, last fight. So
that he didn't have.
Yeah, that he didn't have. But yeah, I mean, no, his last fight was at 145. But before that, he passed out, and then the other one he didn't make the weight. So just fight at 145, dude. You can't make 135. You had to get naked just to make the catch weight.
And he had a hard time making 145.
Yeah, he had a hard time making 145. I don't think he's disciplined at all.
Me neither. I think that's the biggest problem with him. He just doesn't have the discipline.
The second fight of the night, I mean, to me, the first fight of the night, because this was before. Brian Ortega, I love this dude, T-City. He's a Hannah Gracie fighter. Nigga is nice. He's always exciting. His hands is dumb nice.
You seen that fight?
His jiu-jitsu is amazing, but his hands are finally catching up to his jiu-jitsu. And dude is bringing it. Versus Renato Moicano. Round 1 I gave to Ortega.
That was a slugfest.
Both guys were standing toe-to-toe for most of the round, but Ortega rocked Marciano and also landed a jumping knee at the end of the round.
Whoa, you forgot about the second round, though. You just jumped right there. That's your man Ortega.
I said round 1.
Yeah, but you didn't say round 2.
We just got. He's just talking about round one.
Don't say, man.
I'm talking round one, then round two.
Okay,
we're talking in order.
Oh, okay, because I'm just making sure, because that's his man's right there.
You know how fights work. We go by rounds.
Yes.
Round
Round two, I gave Morcano.
Oh, okay.
My God,
Right,
yo.
right.
You see what I got to work with? Great back and forth. Morcano was landing more shots, but Ortega started landing a lot of body shots and hurt Morcano. I think Morcano doesn't make it out the third, though. I was wrong.
No, but the second round, remember, he had it, but towards the end.
Yeah, that's what I just said, Marc.
I know.
Are you paying attention?
Yeah.
No.
All right, no, he's not.
Yes, I am.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am.
Third round, I gave to Ortega. He won by guillotine choke. Morcano went for a takedown and paid the price. And then almost immediately, as soon as he went for the takedown, Ortega snapped in the motherfucking guillotine and it was a wrap. He tapped almost immediately. Yeah.
Stupid. That was
Ortega's, he's nice. Andre Fili versus Calvin Qatar. Andre Fili was touchy-feely. He was one of those fighters that looked so promising. And then all of a sudden, they started giving him top-tier fighters, and he just didn't look promising anymore.
It'd be like that.
Round one, I gave to Qatar. Philly was winning the round, so Qatar got the takedown at the end of the round and landed good ground and pound on him. Round two, I gave to Qatar as well. Good round by Philly, but then Qatar lands a couple of hard shots that wobble Philly. And then round three, I gave to Qatar again, same as the last round, but Qatar was controlling the round a lot more. I like Philly. He always brings excitement in his fight, but I don't know, man. Dude just seemed like he shit the bed. Like
he's his gatekeeper.
Yeah, man. He's turning into gatekeeper status. You know.
He's the guy you put your
promising fighter up against. Alexander Albu versus Kaylin Curran. This was a good fight. It lacked any technique, but it was just a great slugfest between two females. Round one, I gave to Albu. Great first round. Albu's landing the way harder shots, but she's looking tired going into the second round. Round two, I gave to Albu again. Very close round. Albu is retarded strong. She would just like headlock Curran and then drop her down and beat her up or hammer punches.
She had no technique.
No technique.
She just muscled everything.
But Curran keeps pushing forward and she hurts Albu during the end of the round. Round three, I gave that to Curran. Curran controlled this round and got a takedown and got us some good ground and pound. Albu by unanimous decision. Both these chicks had no hands. They both punched like robots. But Albu was just so retardedly strong. She used to be an amateur bodybuilder. So whenever she would just grab Curran in a fucking like a old schoolyard bully headlock and then she just flip her over off of pure strength. Like there was no technique involved at all. She was just muscling Curran. And even her punches were just like, ugh. Oh, she was just like, ugh. And she would literally rock Curran, but there was like no technique behind it. Like she would fight with her head straight up, and she would get jacked up by Curran.
Yeah, if Curran was a better striker, she would have knocked out Albu. The other thing was, again, to Albu's testament to her strength or power, whatever. Whenever Curran tried to go for any kind of jiu-jitsu, she pretty much powered her way out of all of it. Like she just muscled.
She had a gas tank on her though. I mean, I thought with all that muscle she'd be like a little tired, but she had a gas tank. She kept that shit going for those 3 rounds. Jared Brooks versus Eric Shelton. Round 1 I gave to Shelton. Brooks gets Shelton down to the ground but doesn't really do much. Shelton landed a whole bunch of elbows from the bottom. He was making Brooks pay from the bottom. So I gave it to Shelton. On round 2, I gave it to Shelton too. It was pretty uneventful round. Shelton controlled the majority of the round and scored a takedown. Brooks got a takedown at the end of the round as well, but he didn't do much with it. Round 3, I gave it to Shelton. Not much happened in this round either, but Shelton dropped Brooks with a punch and also hit him with a flying knee near the end of the round. They gave it to Brooks by a split decision. And, you know, the crowd was booing the fuck out of him. Then he was like, bullshit. And then John Logan was like, oh, because you thought you didn't win the fight? And he goes, no, I won the fight. I was just not happy with my performance. I'm like, man, nigga, you know you lost that fight. Drew Dober versus Josh Berkman. Dober by knockout. Dober caught Berkman with this mean left hook that was almost like an overhand as well, right through his guard. And that shit turned Berkman right the fuck off. And, Berkman hit the ground, and then, he hit him like 2 times, but the ref was already flying in to stop it, and he was out. So there was no need for that. Also, another fight that went down during UFC 214, Mikey Garcia versus Adrien Broner. I said Broner was going to get knocked out. He survived the fight. It went to decision, 12 rounds. But it was an ass whipping from front to back. As Broner didn't have nothing.
I'm still the can, man.
For Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia completely sunned him for the 12 rounds. Out of all those rounds, I probably saw Broner winning 1. And that was it. And that was because he actually put up a fight. Like I said, Mikey Garcia is too much of a boxer for him. He's too much of a specialist. Broner doesn't have enough output to stop somebody like Mikey Garcia. Broner relies too much on counter punches. He's not an offensive fighter. He shows up too much. He was eating mad body shots. Mikey Garcia was having his way with him. Mikey Garcia walked out of there fresh as a daisy. After the fight, they're talking about Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko. I don't want to see Mikey Garcia lose. Don't feed him Lomachenko. I think Terrence Crawford is a better fight for him. Just because he's a bigger fighter. And because Lomachenko, I think, fights at like 135. So for Mikey to cut off that weight, he's probably going to be drained. And then to go against somebody like Lomachenko, bad idea. So have him fight somebody like Crawford who fights at 140 or 145, I think, or 147. That fight makes a lot more sense. Plus, it's more views as well because Crawford is a known name. Mikey Garcia has a nice little following now that he beat Broner too. So that definitely puts his name up there even more. As much as people hate Broner, they watch him. He's like Floyd. Even though they hate him, they watch him because they want to see him lose.
He did say congrats to the haters too.
Yeah,
He's definitely not Floyd.
He's definitely not Floyd. He's not the Floyd level of popular, but people still like to watch him lose. I mean, I do. I love watching him lose. But as always, Broner was classless in defeat. I guess he thought he was real competitive in that fight. I don't know how, but he was always classless. Everybody pays to watch me. Like, no, nobody pays to watch you.
I'm still the can, man.
Yeah, I'm still
Can't
the can,
whoop anybody ass.
I can still whip anybody. Like, it's stop. You got your ass whipped. Go fight another bum. Then he talked about he's a 4-weight champ. 4-weight division champion. I was like, no, you didn't. You got vacant titles because of Al Heyman, and you fought bums. So you're not really in the history.
Well, I guess his pops can brush his hair tonight.
Oh, pops gonna brush his hair all fucking night tonight. But yeah, Mikey Garcia versus Terrence Crawford makes sense. I don't think the Lomachenko fight makes sense unless you want Mikey Garcia to get a fat O on his record. Fat 1 on his record because Lomachenko will school him. I like Mikey Garcia. I think he's a sharp fighter. I think he's a great fighter. But Lomachenko is an exceptional fighter. And he makes great fighters look average as fuck. Ask Nicholas Walters. This guy, he makes great fighters look average as fuck. And like I said, he fights at 135, I think, or 134. So he's too small for Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia is fighting at 140 or 145. So it doesn't make sense for Lomachenko to go up right now because he's still adjusting to 135. So that's it. Mikey Garcia is the champ. Adrien Broner took a L. John Jones is the new champ. Well, if you want to be technical, he's still the champ.
Nah, he's not technical. He stripped up his
title.
title.
He got stripped his title, but how some people say he technically he didn't lose his belt. But yeah, props to DC, props to John Jones. I don't see a third fight happening. DC, after that fight, DC didn't seem too enthused about talking about running it back again.
Never know.
I give Big John this. He gave DC a lot of chances.
He did. He gave him all the chances in the world.
He gave him all the chances in the world. So people can't say the fight got stopped early. Yeah, I mean, I hate seeing DC lose. DC's my man, but, you know, John just has his number. But, you know, he can go down as one of the GOATs. DC's definitely one of the GOATs. Yeah, that's about it, really. There's nothing else to talk about. So, that's the end of this podcast. That's UFC 214.
Yes.
This is the Metabolic Chronicles Vlogcast. Oh, no. So, I'm going to talk about Slayer is the greatest heavy metal band of all time.
Yeah, we went to go see
We
Slayer.
went to go see Slayer, Behemoth, and Lamb of God.
at the
And
Madison
those are
Square
my
Garden.
3 favorite bands ever.
Of all time?
Yeah,
Your existence.
I fucking love Lamb of
I
God.
know how you feel about Slayer.
I
already
fucking
know that.
love Behemoth. And I fucking love Lamb and Slayer. And to see them all on one bill, I had an erection. The size of the Eiffel Tower. But, I just kind of wish Behemoth's set was a little longer. It was only half an hour.
Yeah, and fucking
And they started.
Madison Square Garden doesn't fuck around. They say doors open at 7. That's exactly when the opening act goes on.
So if anybody watches this and they're gonna
So
go
if
see
that must have happened. You talking about?
Yeah.
They got locked out or something?
No.
No.
Madison Square Garden don't play. They have a time limit. So if they want 7 o'clock, and I mean, if they want you to end at 11 o'clock, and you don't end at 11 o'clock, you will get fined.
Oh,
So shows have to end at exact times. So, and they have to start at exact times. There's a time crunch with Madison Square Garden. So, yeah, Behemoth tore it down. Even though they did half an hour set, it was still a great fucking set. They sounded amazing. Lamb of God, they played like an hour set. They sounded amazing. These 3 bands are probably the best 3 live bands you can see in heavy metal. I've seen so many fucking heavy metal bands live, and every time I see Slayer, every time I see Lamb of God, or every time I see Behemoth, they just blow me away.
And who's to know how I knew about Lamb of God, though, for Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack I purchased. That's how I knew about it.
I've been knew about them before that, but
I know, of course you did.
But to me, as much as I hate Kerry King, you know, and sometimes a lot of the dumb shit he says and does, when I see Slayer live, I totally forget everything about what Kerry King says. It's just like I'm in awe of the band. Even though there's no more Jeff Hanneman, there's no more Dave Lombardo. Tom Araya during this tour, it looked like kind of like a farewell tour for him. I mean, he looked like he's the worst for wear out of all the band members.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, he was very. It felt like he was done.
Yeah, like this looked like this was his last tour. Like, okay. I mean, granted, his vocal performance was dope. His performance was dope, but you know he can't barely move because he got a fucking rod in his neck, so he doesn't headbang. But like I said, it felt like a farewell tour for Araya. So yeah, if y'all get a chance, go to that tour. Enjoy heavy metal.
Slayer.
Face the Slayer. You know, enjoy heavy metal at its finest. These are the 3 best live bands you can see in heavy metal, besides like Iron Maiden, I think. But Slayer's the shit. Always will be the shit. Even their okay songs sound amazing live.
Yeah.
Like that's how dope they are live. Even their okay songs sound like classics when they're playing it live. That's the end of the podcast. The vlogcast. So we out. We'll have another one later on. It was technically Sunday now, so later on this week, that'll be episode 28. Hopefully Wednesday, Thursday. Hopefully some shit goes down in the middle of the week till we can have something to talk about. Maybe there's a UFC fight this Saturday.
Tuesday.
And I don't watch the UFC Tuesday fights. That's another thing. UFC is oversaturating the game. There's just too many fights. Back in the days, it was like bi-weekly. You know, you would have like a fight night and then the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But now there's fight nights every fucking week, and now you got Tuesday night fights. It's a little too much. You know, it's like
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Tuesday Night Fights with Snoop Dogg and Riot Favorite. But and that's why the cards are kind of getting whacker and whacker because they have to fill up all those fight nights. They have to fill up those schedules, and so sometimes you get a lot of whack cards. So that's what makes UFC 214 so great, that it's a stacked card and
But even that card was only stacked because
other fight cards fell apart.
Yeah, because those a lot of those fights were basically fights that were supposed to happen on other cards and basically got pushed over to that one because of injury or whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like, oh, they planned this card to be this stack. It was just like, oh.
And we're happy that none of the fighters ended up pulling out. But like my brother said, we're still waiting for the test results for John Jones.
Yeah.
So.
Like people would be saying the same shit about Lady Cyborg too.
I mean, for as much as everybody likes to talk shit about Cyborg, and even I agree, like, the one thing you gotta give her, man, she's tested clean every fight that she's had. The only thing I'll always say about her is that she already got the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I would ever give her any shit. Like, she may not test positive for roids or anything like that anytime soon, but again,
she already used it to her advantage.
Yeah, she already got.
She built up her muscle mass and
she got what she needed from it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the vlogcast. We out this bitch. See ya later this week. Peace.